Welcome back to the second episode of the Banter podcast. How was your weekend, Alex?
It was pretty good. I had a nice and relaxing weekend.
Nice.
Got to watch a lot of sports. Got to go to a grad party. Got to
Grad
enjoy
party
the
season.
nice 95-degree Minnesota weather that's going on right now.
The humidity's crazy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a heat advisory for the past couple of days and into this next week. So
Yeah, man.
we're just trying to survive out here.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
How about yourself?
Played some golf Sunday
Okay,
yesterday, and that was super hot, man. That was crazy.
I bet.
That wind was whipping, but it didn't really cool down too much, so it was just terrible out there. But it was a good day. And we had a pretty good weekend of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some good NBA playoff games that we saw. I watched a couple of them. Plenty going on in the college world as well.
Yep. Softball and baseball.
Yep. Huge win for our US men's soccer team this last night.
Crazy game.
Awesome game, man.
We'll talk about that.
That was awesome, man. And a big trade in the NFL that we'll talk about as well coming up here.
Sure to shake up some things. I'm positive of it.
Yeah, little Julio Jones. We'll see him talk about that later.
So yeah, we got a pretty big slate to cover today. You want to go over it quick?
Yeah, I mean, we'll include our recap of the Logan Paul Money Mayweather fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
big fight of the night last night.
It was fun to watch. It wasn't anything. We'll talk about it later, but yeah. And then we had the Memorial Championship with some dramatic news and unexpected finishes.
Yeah, crazy finish.
Awesome
Playoffs?
Julio to the Titans. We'll talk about that's well, and of course,
banner of the day.
We'll get into that too. So yeah, let's start off with the fight last night, Paul and Money Mayweather.
Man, it was a boring fight.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of hugging.
I mean, a lot of slapping on the ass from Logan.
I think it's cool for Logan Paul to step in there. Weird that the scorecard was 0-1 versus 50-0. But, I mean, respect. He got to fight the best boxer of all time.
I mean, yeah, that's something not everybody can say.
No, not at all.
And he boxed a full 8 rounds with him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it went the distance. I think some people probably were expecting a knockout.
Yeah, I mean, Logan couldn't touch him, though.
Yeah, that's as expected.
Right,
we mentioned that before. We thought Floyd's boxing was still up to par, and if Burroughs couldn't hit him, then Logan Paul had no business touching him.
I found it crazy that Logan in an interview said that he didn't even get nervous when he saw Floyd in the ring with him.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, props to him because it's clear that he's training and actually takes this serious. Yeah. So I think
maybe that's
if there's something to take out of it, I guess that would be it. You got
that he has passion.
I heard you did a little research on the chain he was wearing. What did he walk out to the ring with?
He had a Charizard card around his neck, Pokemon.
And
how much it was worth?
What was the cost?
$125,000. That man's worth a penny, man.
It don't matter when you're making millions to fight Floyd Mayweather for 8 rounds.
For that fight, I wonder.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that was a crazy weekend. I mean, the fight wasn't really worth it, I'd say, if you paid for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was blah.
Yeah,
there wasn't much going into it. I don't think I didn't have big expectations.
Yeah. We'll get into something a little more that's kind of sad to me, the Memorial recap this weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, dang.
Let's hear what happened.
I mean, Rom gets pulled out for COVID. He tests positive for COVID
after the third
morning.
round. So yeah, I mean, before that, Rom, like we'd mentioned the first podcast, I actually had him as my favorite to win. So, and he looked like it. He came out Saturday morning to finish the second round in aces, and then carries that momentum into the third round. Goes 8 under, tying Tiger's course record, has a 6-stroke lead, and gets told that he has COVID and has to withdraw.
I mean, it's kind of absurd. Can they not find a way where they send him out at like 7 a.m.? Like he was around. Okay, let's think about this, right?
Yeah.
He was around his caddy and the person that gave him COVID.
Right.
And maybe Morikawa, and I think he played with Cantley as well.
Scheffler, I think.
And Scotty.
Yep.
So.
Well, he had tested positive in all of the tests leading up to it.
So why couldn't they throw him out Sunday morning at 7 a.m., just him and his caddy? There'll be no fans there, just those two. Yep. You got to post his round.
Yeah.
All he needed was a
and
76.
They'd obviously have tour officials out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'd be an official round. If he ever were to go B, they'd have official for him to come out.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know.
It's just kind of – it's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate because he was last year's winner. And
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely wanted. He had a 6-stroke lead.
Yeah,
he
he was
wanted
looking
it bad.
primed. He was looking primed
Yeah.
to pretty much walk away with it. Honestly,
pretty much.
he was looking. He was in his bag, as the
Mhm.
kids like to say. But Cantlay and Morikawa end up going into a playoff.
Yeah, surprised by Patrick Cantlay. I mean,
We were hating.
we were talking garbage on him last week.
Yeah, it was tough to watch because we were talking so much trash, and he actually played well.
He won.
But the story there, I think, is probably Morikawa's inability to finish.
I mean, we've seen it in majors and also just regular tournaments. I mean, he's there every weekend,
Mhm.
but he just cannot find something Sunday to finish it off.
Yeah, I mean, his game allows him to be a contender at any course because his irons are so good. He's
Mhm.
consistent off the tee,
Yeah.
but the putter is just that's inconsistent. It's never there.
I have to go buy a new putter. I don't know what to tell him.
He's got to find something
Gotta do
because
something.
it's not working for him when he needs it most.
No, he is far needing some help. And I think Rahm, after this COVID little spurt, you better watch out for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Come for that number one spot, if anything.
if anything was to light the flame any more than it needed to be,
Mhm.
a withdrawal after leading by 6 strokes will definitely do it for you.
A
So,
withdrawal that he couldn't even control.
right.
Kind
It's
of
just
crazy.
extremely unfortunate.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, let's get into some NBA playoffs. We
Yeah.
start with a little Sixers and Hawks
man,
reaction.
what a game.
Yeah, crazy game.
Trae Young. I mean, I kind of am starting to like him.
It's just wild
He's
watching
fun to
him play.
watch.
It's wild.
He's so fun to watch. He can, when they run the pick and roll, or even if he's just isoing, he's so fast. Where he'll go by you and take a floater, money.
Yeah.
He'll fake it. He'll be like 30, 33, 35 out, water.
Yeah, and it's tough for the Sixers to defend it. It was obvious because their defense looked like it was in shambles for
Yeah.
the first 45 minutes of the game
100%.
until the end. Trey picked them apart, and the Sixers couldn't do anything about it because they would double team Trey, and then they left Herter or Bogdan wide
Kevin Hurt
open.
is shooter, man. You gotta guard both of them. I mean,
Yeah, it was tough to watch
And
because
I
the
think-
Sixers looked so lost.
yeah, I think we both saw Embiid was in some pain,
Yeah,
you know,
it
all
was.
game kind of, but he still is dominant.
Yeah, what do you
Like,
have? 45.
He's dominant still. I mean, he can do what he wants on the floor. He helps the Sixers. He's their main unit. So I mean,
Yeah.
everything goes through him pretty much. And I think, to stop Trey for the Sixers, they need Ben Simmons to really step up.
They do.
They need him because they need a long ball defender on him, someone who can get a steal and contest his quick shot.
Right, and you'd think Simmons would be perfect because he's lanky enough.
And
He's
long
athletic.
enough, right? He's long enough to stay with him if Trey makes a first move.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's gonna be tough to stop him still, but that's what the Sixers got to do. They need him to step up.
I expect the Hawks to just keep attacking the pick and roll,
Right.
get Embiid moving because it's clear that his mobility is not. It's not there. It's
No.
not 100%.
I mean,
And that's what they're good at because they have athletic bigs and their wings can shoot. So
yeah, if the Sixers wanna, I mean, Ben Simmons got to make some free throws.
he's got to make some shots,
He's got
just
to make
regardless.
one free throw.
Yeah, he's got to step up.
Go two for 5. I'll take it.
Regardless of all this, I still think the Sixers are going to pull it
Yeah,
off.
you
I
do,
think
don't
I
you?
think I have them in 7.
Mm-hmm.
They're well coached. They got Doc Rivers.
Okay.
They've had playoff experience.
Zach Rivers hates his son.
We'll get into that a little later as well. But I just think that they're well rounded.
Yep.
They'll find something, a way to click, and they've had playoff experience. So I think that they got that going for them. Sixers and 7.
I'm on the Hawks wagon.
Okay.
I got him in 7, so I mean, it's gonna be. I do agree, it's going 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a great series. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be back and forth. Probably home games are gonna win them.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Trae Young can stay hot all series, they're gonna be a problem. And
Like he was first series.
just like he was against the Knicks, the Knicks couldn't
Yeah.
even stop him. So I don't know what to tell you. And I mean, the Knicks had a good defense.
Yeah, they did, and
They played great.
they just didn't.
Julius Randle couldn't score. We talked about that, but
Yep.
I got Hawks in 7 for that series.
Yeah, should be a very good series. Sixers and 7.
Be good, man. Be good. Yeah. And so let's talk about that Clippers Mavs game.
His good
Luka.
game, pretty solid game.
Played great.
Luka, I think we're on the same page here about Luka.
Yeah, I think there's no
he's
going
next
wrong
up.
about Luka.
Yeah, he's a problem already. He's been in the league for 2-3 years.
Problem.
Yeah, he's next up. I don't know what else to say about
We
him.
were talking about earlier. Let's say he go loses some weight, puts on some muscle. You better
watch
you
out.
better get out the way.
It's
If he can already pass and score from anywhere he wants,
mhm.
I mean, if he's just a little more thick, oh,
Athletic build. Yeah, he
Oh my
could get very
goodness.
good. He already is very good.
he had 40. Yeah, he had 46, 14, and 7 last night, and they
Still not
lost.
enough
Lost by
because
15.
he needs help elsewhere.
Mhm.
And going off that, Kristaps Porzingis was a non-factor in the series. He
was terrible this series.
20 points one game. He grabbed over 6 boards in one game, which was game 7.
I expected more from him.
And he averaged under 30% from 3.
It's terrible.
Just not good. Could not help them whatsoever.
You said earlier he was like just under 40% on the season, but then come
Yeah.
playoff time, it's just he's not there.
We're talking about a pandemic player.
Oh man,
Pandemic Porzingis.
pandemic Porzingis.
Because that's bad. That
Tweet it out.
doesn't help anybody.
Hashtag pandemic Porzingis.
And yeah, Luka can't do it all, obviously.
No,
You
He
can't
needs-
do it all in
they
today's
need-
NBA, but
need
one
one more.
person. Right.
they need one more guy to get in there.
So yeah,
and
I
help.
expect them to make some moves this offseason. Luka's a
Even-
draw.
They got some draft picks.
They got some draft picks, I'm
so
sure.
We'll see what they can do.
They got Cuban. It's a good city.
Yeah, Mark's great. Man.
Good franchise. Good history.
Yep.
They just weren't enough. The Clippers looked good.
man.
Kawhi and PG did it.
Yeah.
They're getting help from Reggie.
I mean, yeah. I'm surprised from Paul George. He's actually playing good.
Yeah.
He was the official pandemic P, and now he's hitting shots. And
now we
making
got
the
a new
Clippers look
pandemic
good.
P. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
my goodness.
Clippers look like they're hitting stride and at the right time right now, so that's good for them. But they really turned it up the last couple games in that series and showed some grit to pull it out. And
Sure.
the West right now is pretty up for grabs, I think.
Yeah, I mean it is.
It should be quite
It's
interesting.
gonna be interesting. Let's go ahead and talk about our favorites.
Yep.
The Nets.
Yeah. Big news coming out of there with Harden getting injured 43 seconds into the game.
Missed the whole game.
Already ruled out game 2.
They still won without him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not really worried for game 2.
I mean,
won the whole game
they've had
without
enough time playing as a unit.
Yeah.
As a partial unit, I should say.
I mean, yeah,
Whether
they've
Katie's
played,
out, Kyrie's out, or Harden's
they've
out.
played the whole series, one out, one in. You know,
Whole regular season like that.
they've only played what 13, 14 games
Yeah, it's
together
just-
now. By
it's
now,
not a
15
lot.
maybe. So I mean,
But they get the win, 115, 107.
yeah, that was a good game. Giannis 34.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He went off.
great game. He has to do
As
it again,
expected.
but he needs some help.
Yeah, Middleton shot 6 of 23, 0 of 5 from deep, 13
My
points. Their team
goodness.
shot 6 of 30 from deep.
6 of 30.
That you're not going to win games, and that's only turned it over 8 times. So
Yeah, I mean,
the Nets played as well as they could without Harden, and
the Nets.
They're the better
even
team.
let's say Harden's out game 2, you still got a problem with Kyrie Irving.
Joe Harris,
Unbelievable to guard, so he's got
best
options
scorer
to
of all
pass.
time. Kevin Durant,
Kevin Durant, best scorer of all time, and most likely Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. So
who's BG. You want to talk about that?
what are you gonna do? Yeah, Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
I mean, what a game! He was hustling.
he's been looking really good.
He's dunking. He's got IQ now. All of a sudden, like what's going on?
He looks good. He's fitting his role
Yeah, I mean,
perfectly.
I think the
And
Nets are, obviously they always have been, but they're just looking even better now.
yeah, they're the team to beat.
Yep. Once Harden comes back from this little hamstring that he hurt, I mean, they're going to be a problem once again, just even bigger of a train. So
Yeah, watch out for the Nets. I think they're
100%,
rolling.
man.
I think I still got them in 5 or 6. I just think they're too big of a
yeah,
mismatch for the Bucks.
I go 5 or 6, maybe even I don't know. Yeah, because if Harden does miss like 2 games, they could maybe go 6.
Right.
So
Yeah, let's
it's gonna be a good
let's
series
get a
to
little
watch.
little chattering about this Julio trade. That's
Ooh.
gonna make some noise. So Falcons just traded Julio to the Titans. They received the 2022 second round pick, 2023 fourth round pick, and I believe a 6th round pick in that year's draft as well.
Yeah.
Big win for the Titans.
I mean, I think both teams are pretty happy with it.
Yeah,
The Falcons get a great second round pick this year and a 4th round pick next year they can do something with.
plenty of draft capital.
And the Falcons knew Julio wanted to go. So
Yeah, I mean they're clearly in the midst of rebuilding.
yep, Julio's either gonna play this year and then opt out and go somewhere else, or I mean,
Yeah, they
I think he was happy to go. I think the Falcons are happy to get him gone.
have a couple good pieces right now.
But
But they're
yeah.
looking towards the future. Matt Ryan's old, and
Yep, 100%.
they got Ridley and they got Pitts.
I do
So
think the Titans are just a little more happier. They got Julio Jones coming in now, paired with Derrick Henry,
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, the most underrated wide receiver right now,
This offense is going to
and
be
Tannehill, who can run and throw as
Oh,
well. So
man.
I mean, and their offensive line was there.
So-
Their defense can be there when they need it to be. They can make
yeah,
plays.
they got the best 2 wide receivers duo in the league right now.
Pretty much.
Probably the best core with
Mhm.
Reynolds as their
And
third.
with their QB, Tannehill is actually pretty decent,
Best running back in the league right now.
easily.
So this team runs the most play actions in the league, or top 3 in the league in play actions.
Yep.
Tannehill has the highest passer rating out of play actions in the league.
Don't
Third
forget-
most completions out of play actions.
100%.
This team's going to run play action all over anybody. And when they're
Anybody.
not, they're going to run down their throat or throw it to one of their 2 big guys.
Yeah, don't forget about Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, he put up extremely good numbers as a third option
I mean, he
at
was
the
great.
Rams.
Yeah, he was great as well.
Had over 50 catches, over 600 yards behind Cup and Woods.
100%.
The Titans look like a very solid team. I expect them to give the Chiefs the
Titans
run
will be
for their money.
100%, another great playoff run, I believe. I
Yeah.
bet they'll go deep again this year. I mean, they just picked up Julio, which is just going to be another deep down threat.
Yeah, they're solid without Julio.
Right.
AJ Brown's getting more and more experience. Derrick Henry is in a
He's-
class of his own right now.
Can't stop a
So
brick truck, like I said. So
Vrabel's defensive minded too. So you can't
Mike
go
Vrabel's
wrong.
a stud, man.
You can't go wrong on the defense, whether or not they have the big name players.
100%.
They're going to compete. They're
Yeah.
going to show up. But yeah, the Falcons, on the other hand, definitely in the midst of rebuilding. Got some more draft capital. Got a player out who obviously wasn't happy.
Mhm.
Good for both sides. It looks like
Yeah,
in the
still got
long run.
Ridley.
Yep.
And I mean, they got Kyle Pitts out of the draft too. I'm excited to see him play.
Oh, I mean, he should be an immediate impact. He looks
Yeah.
like an absolute stud. So
Stud from Florida, 6'6". I mean, he's fast.
strong,
Yeah.
great
He can-
hands,
He
can
can do
route
anything
run.
you need for him.
Yeah,
So I mean, that'd be fun to watch him play as well.
for sure.
Watch him build up there. So yeah, little USA game last night of soccer versus Mexico.
Little,
I'll say big.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Big
win.
one for the country, I'd say. I mean,
I think
there's
this
one
is
guy we can all put it on.
Yeah, who?
Ethan Horvath.
Yeah, big backup goalie.
Wow. I
What
mean,
a
game.
performance. Yeah, comes in.
First of all, first minute of the game, we go
Yeah.
down 1-0.
Yep.
Terrible.
Poor defensive effort.
We
Turn
get
the ball
up
over.
and we get the ball up in our box, and the dude basically
Snipes it.
snipes it right over our goalie's head.
Yep.
Goal. We end up tying it with our young guy, young stud.
Yep. Gio.
My goodness.
Corner.
So glad.
Yep.
Gio Reyna, 18 years old. I mean, he is insane to watch play.
I mean, these young stars for the U.S. are really going to make some noise.
Gio Reyna.
Representing
Kenny.
Dort.
Oh my goodness. Dortmund, baby. That's
Yep.
our team. And I mean, yes.
It was just
we went
back and
up
forth
1-1
all
there.
game.
It was back and forth. We went 2-2 with Weston McKennie scoring in the 82nd minute to
But
tie it up.
before
for us.
that, like you mentioned, our starting
Our
goalie,
starting goalie.
hurts his knee.
Stefan.
They didn't end up releasing how he gets hurt, but Ethan Horvath comes
I
in.
don't know. He was kind of running up to the box and he like tweaked.
Yeah, it
his
looked like it could have
knee.
been a kneecap or
tweaked his knee or something.
non-contact.
So
So,
then we
didn't-
bring in Ethan Horvath, America's savior.
yeah, he was a stud. He saved
He saved
a
6 or 7 shots.
numerous
I
big.
mean, they outshot us 24-12. Mexico did.
Yep.
So I mean, he was just saving everything.
Yep. We go to extras.
Weston McKennie ties it. We go to extras. We end up getting a PK.
Yeah, Pulisic draws a foul in the
Christian
box.
Pulisic draws a pretty controversial foul,
Yeah,
and the referee gives it to us, and he capitalizes in the top right corner and scores.
goes crazy. The Mexico
Takes his
fans
shirt
hate
off.
it.
He's going crazy. They're throwing bottles and everything at
Yep.
it. They're getting in fights over on the other
Gio
sideline
Reyna
almost.
gets injured in the
My
process.
goodness, Gio Reyna got hit with like a full Coke bottle in the face.
It's terrible.
He like knocked out on the ground. He had to carry him off the field.
The fans can't control themselves.
No, it was
It's
crazy.
terrible.
So we're up 3-2, but then later in the game, like the
They
100
draw their PK.
118th minute, maybe.
Yep.
They get a PK. But
And what do you
tell me
know?
What happens?
What do you know? Ethan Horvath.
Bottom right, he dives out off the arm and he saves America.
Crazy.
My God.
Anything if you know anything about this rivalry, you know that US has been getting their butts whooped for years.
You know that they don't like each other either.
We do not like each other.
So it is a very heated game.
This whole time, the fans don't like each
The
other.
fans were throwing stuff at each other all game. I mean, there was probably
Yeah.
fights in the parking lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Ethan Horvath, our saver. U.S. wins 3-2, CONCACAF
It's
champs.
a good bid to the World Cup.
Yeah, it's
Probably pretty locked, I'd say.
it's a good start before qualifying
It's
for
just
sure.
awesome, man. It was just a great game to watch last night. I stayed up all night. It was
Yep.
awesome.
Huge win for the U.S. team. Good for the young guys.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, what do we want to get into now? What time is it?
Banner of the day, baby.
Banner of the day.
Let's do it. So, what are we
What's
going to talk about here?
I think our topic for this week was we're gonna run through a little bit of a prediction for the Nuggets and Suns series because I think we're both a little flip flopped on this one.
Yeah, how about you start it out here? Because I might have a little bit of a favorite on my side, so you go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm thinking I'll start off my prediction. I'll get into my reasoning here. So
let's go prediction for prediction first.
Yeah. So
ahead.
I got Nuggets in 7.
Taking Suns in 6.
Okay. And for my reasoning here,
they're out there. I'll let you explain first.
Yeah.
Here we go. Go ahead.
The Nuggets here, they won the regular season series 2-1. All 3 games, I should say, early in the season before the first 10. So different teams for sure. Jamal Murray obviously was in at that time.
Right.
Nuggets are no longer with him. He's injured. He's out. They were all close games. 2 of them went into overtime. One was double overtime, actually. But yeah, they're good games, and I expect all these games to be good as well. I think this will be a good series.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to a certain couple of matchups. Chris Paul is obviously a big one. Not 100%.
Yeah.
Still playing through it.
Still got that shoulder.
But we'll see how big of an impact he can make. I think the biggest one is going to come down to Miles Bridges and Michael Porter Jr. Miles Bridges is a lockdown defender, one of the better defenders in the league right now, and MPJ is playing out of his mind right now. He looks really good. His jump shot looks good. And I think those two are going to be matched up on each other pretty much most nights, all night. Yeah. Exactly. So that would be an interesting one to watch. Denver will be without Barton for game 1, but there's rumor that he'll be back at some point in the series.
Yeah.
So that would be huge for Denver. And then Austin Rivers. I told you we'd come back to this.
Hey,
Austin Rivers needs to come up big, not only for this reason because
a little magic from him or what?
Because Denver needs him. He's been playing good, shooting over 50 from deep. But he's filling Jamal Murray's role. So he's going to get his shots up. He needs to take control of the series, and he's going to be playing against D-Book. So that's going to be another huge matchup. And I would love to see Austin Rivers play against the Clippers in that conference finals as well.
I mean, that'd be crazy to see.
Because Doc says that Austin's not that good.
He doesn't like him. Yeah, he doesn't think he's
which is good. Weird to me. So I think it'll be a good series. I think it'll be back and forth.
Yeah.
The Nuggets got the MVP candidate, Jokic.
They do.
And he's going to be tough to handle.
Okay.
Aiden is more of a rim protector.
Aiden's got his hands full with that.
He's gonna have to step out of his comfort zone.
Aiden does have his hand full with Jokic, but with that, I think the Nuggets have their hands full with a lot.
They do.
They have to deal with Devin Booker and CP3. Those are two of CP3 can almost do whatever he wants, just like Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
He's so deadly dribbling, and he's automatic from the midi.
Yep.
When you got Devin Booker, what he's been doing in the playoffs already, I mean, he's just like putting on a show almost. He's pulling up from everywhere he can, just trying to make it.
I think that's a great way of putting on a show.
The Suns love to run too.
Devin Booker.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean the Suns love to run the ball up too, and I think Jokic is going to try to slow it down, which might hurt the Suns a little bit. Mm-hmm. So if the Suns can keep the transition going, this might be Suns in 6 for me. So I mean, it's Jokic. Is he good enough to carry this team throughout this series? That's the question. So
yeah, I mean, we've been talking about one man can't carry a team.
We'll see, man.
Forever.
Jokic needs help. So we'll see if anyone steps up. Can Michael Porter Jr. step up? Can
Austin Rivers?
Can
Will Barton if he comes back?
Can they all step up and help him out? I mean, no Jamal Murray is huge. So
yeah, it's gonna be big matchups. With every single game's gonna have
no big point guard to help Jokic. We'll see. It's gonna be a good series, though. I think
it should be a great series.
Definitely staying tuned to that.
The West is still very interesting. Lots in the air, lots up for grabs. So
the West is gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what we got for Banner of the Day.
Yeah, it was a good little Banner of the Day for you.
I think we'll get right now into a quick recap of our best bets from last episode. Unfortunately, didn't go so hot.
Unfortunately, I had the Bruins -1.5 against the Islanders.
How'd that game go?
And the Islanders ended up winning 4-1 in game 4. So that series is now 2-2. Yeah, well, I won't be messing with that series again. Don't even. I was on the spot.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that. Those were more or
Get
less
that one
for
out of
little
here, but I mean,
entertainment.
And then
You got another NHL one later though. You're
I do have
talking about,
another one that
right?
we'll talk about
All right.
later. But
We hit on
we hit
one.
one.
We hit the Jarzino Rosenstruck money line. You could say he got the big knockout like I was talking about. The striker outclassed Augusto. Got the knockout at the end of the first round, so that was a nice hit. But then I also missed on the Nets Bucks over 240.
Yep.
Probably didn't help that Harden was out within the
30,
first minute of the
40
game.
seconds
So
in, so I mean that's crazy to deal with.
yeah, it wasn't too close, but we'll hopefully get back on track here. Yeah, and you wanna start us off with our best bets for
Yeah, so
this
our
pod?
best bets of tomorrow, Tuesday, the 8th.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the Vegas Knights hang with the Avalanche.
Yeah, what you thinking for NFL? Or sorry, not NFL, NHL. What you thinking?
Yeah, so I think in that series it's 2-2 now,
Yep.
right? They just won the last game 4-1.
Yeah, big win
Big
for
win.
the Knights.
I think the Knights steal game 5 as well.
Okay.
This is my best bet of tomorrow, one of them.
Yep.
+125
On the
to
money
steal
line?
game 5 on the money line.
Okay.
I think Vegas is all but just feeling hot right now.
Yeah, I mean they got a lot of momentum going with them.
They got something in their head and they're ready to go. They're ready to run. So I mean, we've seen it before. Vegas, they play out of their minds. So let's see it again.
Colorado's really gonna need McKinnon to step up.
McKinnon
I'm
needs
thinking.
to step up once again. I mean, he can do it though. He's the man to do it, and he's scary. So yeah, that's my best bet. On to Crow.
Yeah, mine. Going back to basketball, we're gonna go for a little first half over in the Hawks and 76ers game for tomorrow night. Over 113.5.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, first half went 128, so blew that over.
I wonder if they're just favoring Joel's injury. He
Yeah.
must not play a lot in the first, but
I mean,
even with that said, I think the Hawks put up.
Right. I mean, we talked about it earlier. The Hawks were just all over. The 76ers looked like they had no clue what was going on defense.
In the first 8
They
minutes.
struggled finding help for Trey.
Yeah.
I expect Trey to come out fast. I think the 76ers will come out better than they did in game 1.
Yep.
They're going to need to score more, most likely in the first half if they're going to want to beat the Hawks. They can't get beat up by 20 again.
The Hawks like to run too. So
right. I think 113.5. They got to score 114 combined. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Then what do you got for your last one?
I got one more tomorrow night as well. The Utah Jazz play the LA Clippers. And I think the Jazz, I got them -3.5 against the Clippers. It's basically a pick-up -110 for that. So, yeah, I think the Jazz pretty much win that game.
Win
at
by
home,
2 buckets.
Game 1. I think the Jazz are ready to go. They're not going to mess around. They don't want to lose game 1.
I mean, they had the best record in the NBA for a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're here. There's a reason that it's 3.5, probably because they're at home and
healthy again.
Expecting a good game, but I think Jazz come out strong. So
I agree with that. I think that
Jazz -3.5 is also one of my bets. So take them or leave them.
Come out hot in game 1. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in.
Wrapping up the second podcast. It's fun.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to episode 2. If you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Make sure to leave a comment.
Yeah.
Things we can improve on, things you'd like to hear about. We'll try to get out a Twitter page and Instagram page. I think is what we're working on this week. So
you can go follow us on Twitter at I think it's Bench Banter with Alex and Zach.
Yep.
Go ahead and look us up there. And our YouTube is Bench Banter as well if you're listening. So
yeah,
go ahead and give us a subscribe and like and comment. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.